Mr. BetSmart here. Today we're talking through my financial portfolio for the month of January. This is the 5th month that I'm doing this. If you want to check out any of the other videos, then look in the playlist that is linked here. But without further ado, we're going to jump into the figures of all of my investments and see how we're doing for the month of January. So first of all, as you can see, we're starting with Fundsmith. So my Fundsmith account, as you can see, is currently valued at £14,400. Now this has had a bit of a dip in the last month. It was trading at almost £16,000, but it's dropped around 1,600 because it's had a dip in the market. But I'm in it for the long term, so it's not too much of a worry, but it is a quite significant drop. For any of you that don't know, Fundsmith is essentially a fund which invests in a small set of companies that it believes in their long-term value, and it's got a really impressive fund manager who's had some really good returns in the last 5 years. Obviously, past returns is not a good indicator for future results, but it's a good sign. So that's my Fundsmith account. Next, we've got my Help to Buy LISA with Moneybox. As you can see, my LISA is currently valued at £10,998.17. Now this has dropped quite considerably the last few days as well, but I'm still up around 37%. Essentially, it works by every £1 that you save into a LISA, you can basically get a 25p bonus from the government up to £4,000. So every tax year you do this and save £4,000 into this account, you can get £1,000 bonus from the government. And then you can choose it to be in a cash LISA or a stocks and shares LISA, where it's either invested in the stock markets or just stored as cash. So next we've got my Binance account where my crypto is stored, and as you can see, that is currently valued at $7,787.41. This has also had quite a considerable drop this month, but I'm holding it for the long term. Coins like Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP, Cardano, etc. So we'll just have to see how this one plays out. Next, we've got my Trading 212 account. As you can see, that is valued at £3,561.94. I'm just simply invested in the S&P 500 index fund here, and I'm planning on actually starting to dollar cost average into this when I've got a big enough bankroll for my match betting monthly profits. Next, we've got my SECI account, which is my investment account which I hold with the company I work for, and I'm starting to actually dollar cost average into this account and put £200 away every single week to invest in an index fund that tracks the American market. So it's quite similar to the S&P 500, but it's not directly correlated. And as you can see, that is valued at £296.52. Next, we've got my betting accounts. Now I've already tallied this up and it's just not worth time to show on this video. But as you can see, that is valued at £6,397.31. Now I've been ramping up the match betting and trying to squeeze all these profits out of the bookies. So that's why this has increased quite considerably and it's quite high. Next, we've got my Smarkets account, and as you can see, it's valued at £3,000.03. Next, we have my Monzo. Now this is the card that I use for all of my match betting, and that's why it's quite considerably high as well. So it's ready and poised for deposits to take advantage of offers with bookmakers. And this, as you can see, is valued at £5,185.97. Next, we've got my share incentive plan. Now this is a scheme from my company where essentially if you put money into the company that you work for every month, then it's actually a tax break because you have it come out of your taxable income, and it means you pay less tax on your wages, but you also get a matching share and a half depending on how long you stay at the company. So it's hard to know what the price is of these shares because it's a private company, but I essentially add £375 for this every single month because I contribute £150, and then adding the share and a half that I'm also buying, I add another £225. So I'll add £375 to £2,250, which is £2,625, which is an estimate of my value of my share incentive plan. Next, we have my pension. Now every single month I put around 6% of my wages into my pension, and my employer does the same, which means I have around 12% of my wages contribute towards my pension. And as you can see, this is valued at £2,402.42. Now this is for the long term, so it's really good to build as early as possible, and your future self will thank you. But after a year, I'm pretty happy at how this is totting up nice and slowly. Then we've got my Octopus shares. I also actually bought separate Octopus shares in a liquidity event that they had recently, and I bought around £2,000 worth. So As I don't know what the price is, I'm just leaving that as the amount that I put in. Next, we have affiliate income. Now, this is for the link that I promote for Profit Accumulator in my links in my bio for TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, etc. And as you can see, this is at £796.32. We've then got Mr. Trading Robot. Now, this has been losing quite a bit of money this last month, and it's not been great, to be honest. And we are currently sat at £611.23, which is a bit of a shame. They had a big loss in Christmas and another £100 around loss this month. So I'm just going to leave it for the long term and see what happens. But with the Trading Robot, I would not recommend signing up at this point. I'm going to leave it for a lot longer to see how it plays out and give it a thorough review. But to be honest, from losing £400 in a couple of months from what seemed like really risky trades that weren't necessary, I'm not recommending this at the moment. So £611.23 for the Trading Robot. We've then got my KuCoin wallet. Now, this is holding more speculative and risky coins, and as you can see, this is valued at $1,037.94. I'm holding coins like Trias, API3 and Lattice, so if you want to go check those out, I've got a video up here called Altcoin Gems. I'm going to hold these for the long term and hope that some of them go to the moon, but if it goes to zero, I'm content with that because I knew that these were very risky coins to go into. So $1,037.94 for my KuCoin. We then have Coinbase. Now, this is where I'm holding AMP, which is another altcoin, but it's a lot larger than the small ones that I hold in my KuCoin wallet, because I think it's got really good long-term potential in the long run. But as we can see, it's currently valued at $530.29. Not been the best month for this, but we're just going to hold it for the future. We've then got Plum shares. Now, I bought around £500 of shares in Plums. I think it's a really good fintech app that could have some great growth over the next 5 years. So I bought around £500 of shares in that. So I don't know as well, because it's a private company, what the share price is. So we're just going to leave it at what the money I put in was. The same for Klarna. It's another business that's private that I'm going to buy around £500 of shares of, but I haven't actually bought them yet. It's still pending. So we've then got my Santander account, and because I've still got my student overdraft of £2,000, I've been utilising that for my matched betting. So as you can see, we're on minus £1,362.03. We've then got my credit card. Now, this is just to build credit with an app called Time It. If you want to sign up, then it's £1,500 of credit that you can get, and essentially it pays off automatically every single time at the end of the month, which is really useful. And they are really good for being a credit and building app. So if you want to check them out, there's a link in my bio. I think you can get £15 free if you sign up through the link. So this is a really good app if you want to start building credit. So as you can see, I've got £870.58 of credit left to spend. So that means I'm going to take £1,500 off that, and what is left is the amount I owe them, of around £629. So that is my credit card. We've then got Plum, which does roundups and weekly deposits, and it's at £41.33. We've then got another affiliate scheme with Odds Monkey that I haven't checked, but it's around £8 in it. Another affiliate scheme with Bonus Accumulator that's got around £4 in it. So as we can see, comparing to last month, we are at £57,791.10. Now, that might seem like a bit of a sudden drop, but the markets have been massively down. The crypto market has been massively down as well. So to only be around £4,000 down from last month, I'm actually not too angry about that, because it could have been a lot worse. So we keep moving for the long term, and I'm actually quite content with that, because I thought it would be a lot worse, because we've seen like 10-20% drops in a lot of the markets. So with all the reoccurring income, that has helped save some of those losses. So 57,000, I'm not actually too angry about that. And as you can see, we can use the save button to actually save this to my portfolio history, and we can see how each of them are doing in comparison to the last few months. So I have lost a bit of money, so I'm actually back to around October for my valuation, but it has been a really bad month again, as I said, for prices. So Fundsmith, we can see it's gone down 1.5 grand, Held to Buy license has gone down £1 grand, Binance has gone down 2 grand, so that's already, that's already 4.5 grand right there, just from the first 3. Another £200, 4.7 grand. We've started investing in my second invest account. My betting accounts has actually stayed around similar. Smarkets has gone down a little bit. Monzo's massively gone up because I've got a lot more cash in there I'm using for my match betting. My SIP's gone up nicely, as it always is. My pension's gone up a little bit. My shares have stayed the same. My affiliate income's gone down because I've not been posting to TikTok because I've had a few issues with that. My Mr. Trading Robot's gone down a little bit more. My KuCoin's gone down another £300. That's over 5 grand. Coinbase has gone down a couple £100. That's 5.2 grand. Plum shares are still the same. Klarna is still the same. Santander is massively in my overdraft so that I can use that cash for match betting and get much quicker returns, which is what I'm prioritising at the moment. My credit card is still similar-ish to normal months. And there we go. My cash has also gone down to 0, so I can utilise that for match betting. But yeah, that is my portfolio for January. So there we have it. That is my portfolio for the month of January. And as you can see, I've had some thousands and thousands of pounds of losses in some of my investments, which is hard to take, but as a long-term investor, you know that these are going to be coming. So if with dollar cost averaging and making sure investing in them at lots of different price points, then it means over the long term, you're actually getting very average pricing. As long as you believe in innovation in the markets, which I do, I think that the general price is going to keep going up over the next 5 to 10 to 20 years, then that's okay. So I hope that was useful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And as I said before, you can check out all the other portfolio breakdown videos in the playlist here. This is my 5th one, I believe, so I'm going to keep this going as long as I find it interesting and it keeps me motivated to keep doing them, which I think is a really useful thing to do. It's also not a brag. I'm not bragging about how much money these investments have in them. It's just me being open and honest and transparent about options that you can have with your own portfolio. So I hope that was useful. Chuck a subscribe and a like, and I will see you in the next one.